So a couple years ago, I bricked this Panasonic monitor, this professional monitor. I was messing around in the service menu and I thought I was within the deflection block. Turns out I was in the signal block. I wasn't paying attention to the service manual, and I adjusted a fixed setting, which completely bricked my monitor. The screen went black, no menu, nothing. I tried to retrace my steps in the manual and remember what setting I was on using the service manual blindly. Couldn't figure it out. I got another monitor, and I've actually got two since then. And I decided I'm finally gonna take a stab at fixing this thing. So I did a side-by-side with the working and the non-working, and I entered the service menu on the working, and I tried to retrace my steps button for button using the working monitor, and I couldn't do it that way either. I couldn't fix it that way. So I decided I need to locate the memory IC, or the memory, the EEPROM that holds memory on this thing. I need to find it, and I need to either flash it with a fresh file, or I need to use a donor and do it that way. I couldn't find any dumps for this thing online. I mean, there's some resources out there with hundreds of different models, but most of those being consumer sets. That's what I suggest first. If you've narrowed it down to the memory IC and you can't find a dump online, buy another one. Find another one, or let your friend borrow it if he trusts you enough to, and you're skilled enough to do this. But what you need to do is what I did to get this freaking beautiful monitor working again. It is the nicest of the three by far. It's got the P22 phosphors. It's the YN revision. It just looks the best. It's the newest. This thing looks brand new inside. This thing, the donor monitor, it is caked in dust. It's not too bad if you're used to looking at arcade boards and whatnot. This is nothing. But anyway, so here's what you're gonna do. Don't be daunting. Don't be scared. This is not that difficult. These have these professional monitors most of the time. Obviously, be careful, but still take the appropriate steps, the cautionary steps. But this does have a discharge circuit. When you power off the monitor, it automatically discharges the CRT. I do it anyway. I use this I ground it out and then put this on the anode cap, and I never hear a pop because it's already discharged, but I just make sure to do it anyway. So after you've, fair warning, do your research before you, and take the steps you need to so that you're safe. After you've done all that, what you're gonna do is you are going to simply drop. This input board is on a pivot socket. So just unscrew that, drop that. Okay, that's all your inputs. Okay, you're gonna drop that. Then you're going to, this is your deflection board. You're going to, there's three, I've got it backwards, but you see these clips down here? They clip in. Press all of those. This will lift out of place, undo all, disconnect all of your cabling, set that aside. Do not worry about keeping track of all this. Just disconnect it and set it aside. It is so intuitive how it plugs back in. You can't plug a socket back into the wrong, you can't plug one of these into the wrong sockets, okay? They're all designed to line up and work with their own individual sockets. So anyway, so now you're gonna find, what you're trying to get to is the control board right here, okay? And that looks like this once you get it out of there. This is the control board, and this is your MyCom board, which has your memory IC right here. As you can see, I've got it in this EEPROM programmer now. But desolder that sucker, okay? And set it aside. Let's assume that this is your corrupt chip right now, okay? So you're gonna set it aside. Now you're gonna disassemble your working monitor. Go through the same process. Here's where your control board plugs into. This particular board was super easy. They just pull out. But the Panasonic revision has sockets I've never seen before, where you have ribbon cables with the exposed pins, and you have to push down on these blue sockets and lift at the same time, and they'll come out that way. They're not like the ones that you pull up the little tab and they come out. They're something I've never seen before. But and then to put those ribbons back in place, just push them you know, line up all the pins and push them down firmly. I feel like I'm rambling. Sorry, I'm not gonna edit a video. I'm not gonna learn how to edit just for this one video, but I'm trying my best to be as concise and understandable as possible. So, again, you're going to, now that you've located your memory IC and you've desoldered it, you're gonna take your working monitor, do the same thing, and desolder that. Then, once you've desoldered it, what you can do is let's say that this is your working chip, okay? So this is only like a $60 program. If you're not experienced at all, don't let this be intimidating at all. You just throw the chip in, lock it down. Then you have this really intuitive program where here's your chip type. You look at the brand, and this particular chip is an Atmel. Okay, so I'm gonna choose Atmel. I'm gonna choose the chip type. It didn't have the package size. Package just means the shape and type of pins. It didn't have the right one. It's not a SOIC, it's not a TSOP. It's actually, if you look at the data sheet, it's a DIP 8, which this doesn't have. So I just chose this option here. Okay, so once you choose that, you're pretty much good to go. You can read the chip like this, and that shows you all the information on the chip, okay, here. And I did do a comparison between the corrupt chip and this one, and there was all kinds of values changed. I definitely screwed it up more than I thought I did, because I tried to go back and do it blind as well. So anyway, so the corrupt chip, it's not bad, okay? So first, take your working chip, dump it, save the file, okay, save it wherever you want. Then put in your corrupt chip after you've desoldered that, and erase it and write the dumped file to the corrupt chip. You just hit program, bam, you can verify it here, you're good to go. Then simply take it out, solder it back in, reassemble everything, and you're good to go. That easy. It seems complicated. Like I said, it's not. It's actually, I'm glad I bricked this thing in the long run, because it was a very fun learning experience. It felt like a big puzzle. And now I have 3 of these things working. If you have the same monitor and you do not want to, I don't even know why I'm telling you to buy a working one. I can send you a chip, or I can send you the file if you don't have the programmer, and you can check and you can reflash the chip yourself. So yeah, so same, if you have the same model, even the larger models, which is the 19-inch versions of these, it's going to be the exact same chip. So if you've screwed up, I know it's like it's a long shot that anybody has experienced this problem with this specific model. But I actually did find a guy online that did the same exact thing on the same monitor, but he actually was able to retrace his steps and fix it without going through this whole process. So again, either way you spin it, you're gonna have to tear down your bricked monitor and reflash that chip, or if you don't want to have to go through all the trouble of reflashing, just hit me up. I will purchase the chip through, wherever, Mousers or wherever, DigiKey, and get that thing, flash it for you, and send it your way. And then it's just a matter of soldering 8 pins onto that thing, reassembling, and boom, you should have a beautiful working monitor. And also, in the process, you can inspect your board. And like this one here, I'm gonna just reassemble because I don't have all the capacitors and different parts that I'd like to replace. But in this one, I'm just gonna clean it up a little bit and put everything back together and run with it for now. But once you do a teardown like this, you're gonna, in the future, you're gonna want to, basically, if you think about recapping your monitor in the future, it's gonna be far less intimidating. Now I'm actually excited about going through and doing a recap on all these boards when I have the time, because of the experience of disassembling and assembling it. So anyway, that's my quick little PSA on being very careful and referring step by step to the service manual. If you don't know what a service manual looks like, if you're not that experienced, here is an example, and here are the settings for the deflection system. Like I said, well, I don't know if I said or not, but the problem with the JVC, I don't know if it's like this across all professional JVC monitors, but they auto save. If this was like a Sony, you know, a Sony professional monitor, and you could just simply press degauss. I mean, it required you to press degauss a couple times to save your settings, then this would have never happened, because while I probably would have, you know, my adjustments would have resulted in a black screen, when I powered off the monitor and powered it back on, it wouldn't have saved those settings. Essentially what you're doing when you're in the service manual is you're flashing memory to that eeprom chip. So be careful with the JVCs. So anyway, that's all I have to say. I hope this video helps someone out there. If it helps anybody, even one person, it was worth making it. So thanks for watching.